Okay. Today is the vlog for May 15th, and my hair is doing something weird. Um, yeah. What a weird day it has been. So, yesterday in Seattle, the temperature hit 88, which is a record. It might have been an all time record for this day in May. Um, it only got up to 86 where I live, but that certainly felt plenty warm. And to give you an idea of the difference, the last time I checked today, the temperature was 72, and that was probably at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It was about as warm as it was going to get. In fact, I will check now. Again, this is super interesting, right? It's me watching me look at stuff on my phone. Yeah, today, 69 now, so it's only getting cooler. So, what a difference 14 degrees can make. There's been a nice breeze that's just been keeping everything from getting too hot. But that breeze has had a very odd side effect. We've got both windows in this room open, which means that any wind that's going through is creating a suction effect, which had the added side effect of causing the door to the room to shut repeatedly. And scared me a few times. I thought it was being haunted, although I said to myself, if this ghost is making everything cooler, I will happily be haunted by the cool air ghost. So that was nice. It was just overall a much more relaxing day, sitting around playing Warframe, figuring out what I need to do for my unemployment. I actually have to wait a couple days to do anything to see if that standby is going to work and kick in. So what was the other thing? So ghosts. Cold air. It was supposed to be, well, it was cloudy today. It was cloudy. It started off very sunny in the morning. And I said, "Hey Siri, what's the weather like right now?" And she said, "Oh, it's 55." And she, with a British accent, because I gave Siri a British accent. "It is currently 55 degrees and cloudy in Sammamish." Sammamish. That's where I live. I guess I don't know if I've ever announced that before, but as long as my actual street address isn't showing up in any of these, I'm probably safe to say that's where I am. But I paused and then went over to a skylight and looked up, and it was completely blue. And then I went outside. This was about 6:30 a.m. Looked in every direction, could not see a cloud in any direction. Picked up the newspaper and brought it inside and went back to surfing the internet on my computer. So I thought, okay, well, cloudy, sure. I think Siri's got this one wrong. But lo and behold, within an hour, the whole sky clouded over with a little bit of a haze. And it was like that until 11 o'clock noon-ish. So, okay. I guess Siri was just predicting the future. But that's only part of the story today. I just talked to my dad a little bit ago, and as he was leaving a place he hangs out, he's retired. He hangs out in a shop for cars. As he was leaving the nearby Whole Foods, having gotten a snack in the afternoon with a friend of his, a car leaving the parking lot nearly hit him and actually did hit his friend. I love my dad. I really do. I love him so much. And he used to race cars. After he retired, he got into racing full time. Not like super professional. It was technically amateur, but it was just him and a bunch of old retirees and guys who were Microsoft millionaires and had money to spend on this kind of a thing. And I was so scared that someday somebody was going to try and turn too tight or take a line that wasn't theirs, and that was just going to be it for my dad. And thankfully, he has now given up on racing. He's quite a bit older now. and he doesn't race actively. Although I think he just did an enduro last year. I could be wrong about that. But, losing Leo has really put in perspective that nothing lasts forever. I'm not going to last forever. My parents certainly aren't going to last forever, and they're pretty old. I know I'm a very sprightly looking man at 37. It helps that I have a baby face that shows up when I trim my beard and let my hair get medium length like this. Some people are probably going, medium length? You call that medium length? Well, considering what I usually have, which is a shaved head, yeah, it's medium length. But yeah, his friend's okay. He was just sort of jostled, knocked back. I don't even know if he ended up on his rump or anything. Because the lady leaving had not... It was one of those California stops where she was looking to see if there's any traffic, and if there wasn't any, she was just going to peel out, and did not see my dad or his friend crossing the street, and that's why his friend got hit. My dad is a very kind guy. He's a nice guy that everyone speaks well of and likes to hang out. I've accused him of being a doormat because it's hard for him to say no when people ask nicely for him to do things. So I was delighted to hear that when this happened and the lady stopped to see if my dad's friend was okay, my dad let her have it. He said, I can't believe you did this. This was your mistake. You should have been looking for pedestrians. You should have stopped completely before moving on. And I could have given him a standing ovation for that. Because I remember when I started driving, not paying as much attention to pedestrians as I should have. And I did nearly pull out in front of people that were jogging across the street. And it's hard because a pedestrian walking is usually pretty easy to spot. If you just do one of these and then go, you're usually okay. But people who are jogging, and especially people on bikes, are just going to come out of nowhere. So you have to make sure, you absolutely have to make sure as you're pulling out of wherever you're going to get on a street, you have to look very carefully. And around here, there are so many trees, there's so many little things that can block your vision. And it just take the extra moment. I know what this woman was doing. This happened 4 p.m. She was trying to avoid rush hour. She was trying to get on the street before heavy traffic really showed up and ruined her afternoon. Because I have to drive home through rush hour every night. Or at least I do when I'm working. But it's not an excuse. You have to take the extra step. You have to remember that you're driving a 2-ton death machine that can take someone's life without you even realizing it. And you have to take precautions. And I'm sorry that tonight got a little bit more serious than I tend to be about stuff like this, but can you imagine what kind of a state I would be in if I just found out my dad was in the hospital or worse because somebody was leaving a parking lot and didn't think to look for pedestrians? I'm glad he's okay, and I'm glad his friend's okay. His friend tried to wave it off, but there were 2 other people, one of which jumped out of their car just to make sure that he was okay and my dad was okay. God, that's scary. I will take the ghosts that shut doors over being haunted by an image of death at my doorstep any day. I'm Eric Spornitz, and tomorrow will be better.